Welcome to one of the Shibal with Susie and Ed. I tell this is annoying.
I know. Hi, we're just two Asian Americans talking shit about shit. Sorry, we were just having a conversation about Action Jackson was, I think, a character from like the 80s or something.
Yeah,
like a.
I was saying that I don't even know what action.
And I was saying that it bothered me because Action Jackson does not rhyme. It should be Action Jackson. He goes, I don't even know what Action Jackson is.
No, I said I don't even know what Action
Accent
Jackson is. I can't even get it wrong on purpose. Dang it.
Anyway, we'll look into it and let you know next week what Action Jackson is. I know it's hot. Anyway, hi. Did we do the intro?
Yes. How was your week?
It was good. School starts tomorrow.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I'm happy about that.
It always blows my mind how school starts so early in California versus the rest of the country, I think.
Does it?
Yeah,
I start September?
I used to not start until after Labor Day.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody starts at different times. I have friends whose kids are already in school, people whose kids don't start till next week.
Yeah.
And then so.
But then it's so weird because then UC schools don't start till like the end of September.
My niece doesn't start till the end of September.
Yeah, that's so weird. Why the disconnect?
Yeah, I know. I can't believe she's going to college. My niece is, should I say which university? No. My niece.
Say she's going to UC school.
Yeah, my niece is going to UC school. She lives in Missouri. She's moving
Missouri?
out. Missouri. And she's moving out here at the middle of September.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. She's living at the dorms, right?
Yeah, she's gonna live in the dorms.
So then like she's moving in like 2 days before school starts?
I think maybe like 5 days.
Oh.
Yeah, so maybe like a full week. We thought it would be a good idea.
To get in trouble before school starts.
She won't.
She won't.
She's not.
Yes.
She got
speaking on experience.
Yeah, right. Had it been us, probably. We thought it'd be a good idea for her to go like a week early, get the lay of the land, kind of figure out the campus. And I remember my dad dropped me off at school like the day before school started. I was like, I don't know what anything is. I don't even know where I'm living. What is happening? I don't know. My dad was just like, see ya. I was like,
Same. We didn't even like grab dinner after dropping me off. It was like drop off, and then I think 30 minutes later, I had to go to like orientation.
I honestly don't think my dad's car even stopped fully before I just like, bye. I was like, fuck. So anyway, my sister and my niece are coming on the 10th, and then she's going to be here for like, 2 weeks, and then or like, like a week and 10 days or something.
School.
Yeah, they're going to be going back and forth. To ship stuff back and forth from Missouri would be crazy. So we're going to just drive it down from LA to her university.
Yeah, but she's shipping it to here. Bringing it here.
No, she's going to buy everything here.
I see. Yeah.
Because it would be too difficult. Nice. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you have to buy everything anyway. You're right. Yeah.
Have you? You probably are not. And I'm not really either. But my niece and I were talking about like dorm TikTok. Like there's TikToks of girls or people who go like, like decorate their dorm. So elaborate. Bed skirts, headrests, bookshelves, kitchenettes. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, they have these like tufted headrests and shit. And I'm like, or headboards, for their beds. I was like, this is crazy. Mine was like literally a blanket and a pillow. That kind of money. Yeah, me neither.
Buying like the fridge, the microwave, the TV. Like that alone was like, and we're broke.
You bought a TV? I mean? My dad would never have bought me a television.
No, actually, I think the TV was my roommate's.
Yeah.
And I think the microwave was his too.
Yeah.
But I bought the fridge. Because I remember being like, the fridge is a smart buy.
Yeah, right. Because I'm going to keep them and eat that with me. But my niece is so incredible. And I don't say that because I'm biased, but she's so brilliant. She's so smart. She's like, I might be able to finish college a year early because I did all my APs. And so I have so many credits going into my first year. And I was like,
that's crazy.
She's going to finish college at a UC probably in 3 years. She's so smart. She played volleyball. She did volunteer work. Like, she understands
she's going to enter the real world sooner.
She's so ready. She's so much more mature than you and I put together. Right? She's so mature and she's so brilliant. And she's like really like resourceful and she's really like smart and savvy. And she's a very like good awareness of like the world and like what it really is. And I'm so proud of her. I'm so fucking proud of her.
I just realized I've been an adult longer than I've been a non-adult.
Oh, yeah.
It just happened.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I've had a driver's license for so long.
Yeah.
33 years.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? I mean, whatever. We're old.
Good for her, though.
Yeah. So she's super excited. So I'm really excited for her to be here. Maybe we'll have her on the podcast. She's so smart.
I don't envy her, though.
Why?
School.
She loves it.
I hate it.
She's going to be a chemistry major.
No. That's so crazy.
Both of our parents are highly academic. Both of our parents have PhDs. They're both scientists and lawyers and all kinds of shit. It's just the fabric of who she is, man. I can't deny that. She loves it, I think.
I don't understand people who love school.
It's okay.
I hate it.
But so there are people who, don't understand things we do, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident. How was your week? Sorry.
Sure.
How was your week?
It was mostly gout laden.
Yeah. Man, this flare up seems pretty bad.
Yeah, this one's has not been that great. Jesus Christ, today.
Is the
on a day I have to speak.
I was gonna say, is the gout in your brain?
Oh no. No, it's been pretty bad. And so I've been like chugging cases of coconut water.
Yeah.
And so then it would do this thing where like, so by the end of the day, it's really bad because if I've been moving around, have my foot down, the gravity just keeps taking everything down.
God.
So like it'll dissipate at some point because I think I've been drinking so much coconut water and like probably potassium poisoning myself.
Oh my gosh.
But then the gout will break up and I'll be like, oh sweet, it's going away. And then like an hour later, it'll just form in a different part of my foot.
Oh God.
Yeah. So then like, it's even more annoying because like every 12 hours I have to figure out how to walk to like minimize the pain.
Is there no cure?
So one of our listeners actually suggested this arthritis cream called like Voltaren. So I bought it yesterday, 2 days ago. When was our dinner? I bought it before our dinner 2 days ago, being like, oh, maybe this will help. And it helps a little bit. So thank you for the recommendation. But I had my hopes really high because they were like, oh man, this really works for me. And it didn't work for me that well.
Is it better today than it was 2 days ago?
Today has been the best so far.
Fuck, because he and I and our friend Michael went out to dinner on Sunday and he was already sitting by the time I got to the restaurant. And as we were leaving, I was like, you don't look okay.
Yeah, well, the crazy part is...
the way you were walking, I was like, he was walking with his foot at a completely 90-degree angle and like limping. That looks really painful.
Yeah, that's why I'm wearing the Crocs today. Because I was like, today, I was like, it's just from a house car studio. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't have to go to like a public restroom or anything.
Yeah.
Because like these are my house slippers, you know? Like, but I was saying to Ron when I got home, I was like, you know what's really funny is like Michael and Susie were both like, oh my God, you're limping like crazy. You should have just asked to postpone it. Yeah. But I was like, little do they know, I was like, that was me walking the best I had in like 5 days.
Oh my God. Even
earlier that day, I was like, it took me like 20 minutes to walk to the bathroom because I was like trying to figure out how to like use the one crutch I have. To,
when people break their leg or their foot or whatever, there's that scooter that you can put the one knee on and you scoot. Can you get one?
I want one, but I just feel like it's mobility wise. I think takes like you need wide spaces, you know?
Yeah, but
also that thing is like $500.
Okay, if we have anybody who's listening, this is a what do you call it when you
swimming? Shift sifting.
I'm going to put this out. If anybody's listening, if you can hear my voice, if you know anybody who has one and doesn't need it anymore, or maybe you have one, or you can get one at a discount, or you feel like donating, because watching him walk on that foot is painful to me. Like it looks so painful. It looks, really I feel so bad for you. Yeah. It looks really terrible. And it happens every so often. So having that scooter would be an investment for you. It
would maybe one day. But yeah, I just have to, because it was like I ate all that meat, but then when I thought about it, the 2 days before I'd also eaten a steak out at dinner with a friend. Because he was like, let's go to a steakhouse. And I was like, I don't know how to say no. So I was like, I'm just going to go with it. So that, and then, yeah, good times. But yeah, I should just I also think I didn't drink enough water.
Can you like ice it, or will that make it worse?
No. Icing does help it a little bit for sure. It helps swelling go down sometimes, or at the very least, it helps numb it.
Yeah.
So much, but yeah, I took Tylenol before I came. Some of that Voltaren cream.
I would just, I don't know. That's soak it.
Yeah, I wish there was a way to just like replace the blood in my body. Would that help? I don't know. I don't think so. Transfusion.
I don't feel like
that. A full body transfusion.
At least just a foot.
Yeah, but other than that, it was my mom's 80th birthday the other day.
Oh, great. Happy birthday.
Yeah, I had a bit of a hard time though because she was supposed to be here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she normally comes in August for my birthday, my aunt's birthday, and
she was here last year, right?
Yeah. She normally does that. But then like 2 days before she was supposed to fly out, there was an emergency and she had to postpone her trip. And she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't think I can be there for your birthday." And I was like, I'm actually not upset. I was like, the one time I flipped out at you was because you were going to not be here for my 30th birthday. And then, like she didn't get a chance to celebrate my 30th birthday. So I was like upset about that. So then since then, I think she's been carrying that trauma. So I was like, I don't care about this birthday. I was like, I care actually more about it's your 80th birthday and they're not going to be here. And then so like then I try to like be busy and then focus on the gout and forget about it. But then on the day, I was like all of a sudden started feeling like really upset. Because I was just like 80. I think it's like a big milestone in Korean birthday celebrations, but just in general.
80 is a lot of people don't make it to 80.
That's what I was saying. And like thinking like, especially at the age that I'm at now, as you get older, you start realizing how fragile life is.
Of course.
And how many people don't live to be that old. And you're like, it really is a celebration. Cause like, I want to, but I don't know if I'm going to live to see 80. You don't know. You don't know. So many things can happen.
Sure.
Like just cancer alone, So like, it's just like such a killer, but like, so I just like felt really upset and I like called my mom and then I like made a video and then actually I think it was the opposite. I think I made the video first. And then call my mom. But I just feel bad. I just like, you know what I mean? It's like even without throwing her a big party or something, I would have at least like to be able to like cook her a meal and like maybe get our family together and like.
Well, does that mean she's not coming out at all or just
I think she's gonna try to come closer to the holidays, maybe. Hopefully if she can.
Okay.
But it still just sucks, like the thought that your mom was like sitting home by herself on her 80th birthday.
Well, maybe she didn't. Maybe did she?
I think she did.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Because then the other thing is like, I always forget that like Korea's 12 hours in the future. So by the time I called her, it was technically the day after.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure she knows. I don't know. For me, you and I hold birthdays in very different regard.
You might feel different by the time. Actually, no. Yeah.
No, I'm just.
By the time you hit 80.
Well, I hit 80. I'll be like, leave me the fuck alone. Oh my God, get out of my fucking house. Yeah, like my husband's already like trying to plan my 50th birthday next year, and I'm like,
I don't care.
Please stop. I don't want that. Like,
just
you and my husband just in your Leo-ness just love the, what I don't. I'm like, it's fine. And like, because clearly you saw at my husband's birthday, all I did was run around. All I did was run around, making sure everybody was having a good time. I would be the exact same if it were my own party. And like, that's not fun for me. It was exhausting. And I was just like, I didn't see anybody. I saw everybody and nobody all at the same time.
Yeah.
And I like texted my friends. I was like, hey, they're like, yeah, you were just busy. I'm like, I never see you. And I didn't even get to like barely talk to you. But, so maybe your mom was just like, oh, cool. I get to just be at home by myself. Feels good.
Yeah, but still, it's like a celebration of like, you made it,
Yeah,
and I get it. I understand. Parties are a lot of work, but then when when it's over and then you think about it, it is a memory versus like,
yeah.
Actually, the one time I like did nothing on Christmas and just ate pizza all day.
I was to say, I remember you really liked that. I feel like that really resonated. It stayed with you.
It did, but I also but it was also sad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, well, I mean. Sad to whom?
Comparatively.
It didn't seem sad to you. You seemed to really enjoy it.
No, I really did.
So it's just sad from like a traditional viewpoint of like what it's supposed to be.
In comparison.
But if you didn't feel sad, then it wasn't sad.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
See?
Yeah.
So there you go. So again, we say this
Societal
all the
pressures,
time.
maybe.
Perspective is everything.
Yeah.
You know, being able to celebrate yourself, and like, you know, I'm sure turning 80, there's a lot of self-reflection going on, you know, in your life, and I'm sure maybe she, well, like to think that maybe she took some time to do some of that too.
Yeah. Self-reflection because her son probably keeps yelling at her all the time.
I mean, there's that. Being yelled at does sometimes make you introspect a little bit.
A little bit.
Why am I always getting yelled at?
Yeah.
You know, so you never know. So hot in here.
Yeah. Interesting week though, back to school.
You spilled on your lip.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
Interesting time though, back to school. Especially in LA. Traffic gets bad.
Ugh, God, I know. And volleyball season starts, and I'm co-coaching the 7th grade girls volleyball team, and the coach is the other coach is the 7th grade, or is the junior high teacher, science teacher, and homeroom, my daughter's homeroom teacher. And she's like, I think we should start today. I was like, school hasn't even started yet, but that's okay. I'll take the day off and we'll go. Okay. But I think she's really excited for this team in particular. There's 7 girls on the team, 5 of whom now have had a full year of club volleyball behind them. And so she's
That's
like,
a lot of experience.
So she's like really fired up. Like I honestly think, just based on the teams we played last year, I don't think we're going to really have much competition, which is kind of like cool. Right. Well, I actually welcome competition.
It makes you better.
Yeah.
Stronger.
Those intense games. Did you come to one of my older daughter's games?
Yeah.
Was that the one where we lost?
Yes.
Yeah. That game, in my memory, is the best and funnest game we played all season. It was
good.
so intense.
Because I carried around some guilt for a while. I was like, I'm pretty sure I have bad luck.
No. We only lost one game the whole season, and we played a team that was pretty good. I was like, it's not really, I don't think you did it.
Yeah, but like, for instance, like every time I watch games of my home team playing, like when I was into sports, because I was like gambling.
Oh my gosh.
They would lose.
Yeah.
So there was like points when I'd be like, oh my God,
It's
I
me.
think I'm bad luck.
Am I the problem?
Yeah, and then I'd be like, if I don't watch this Eagles game, let's see what happens.
You're right.
And it'd be like, they'd win. And I'd be like, oh my God, I think I'm bad luck.
I wish you would have told me that before I invited you to the game, Ed, but that's fine. But that game goes down in history in my mind as like the best game we ever played. It was.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
So
I take no credit
thank
for
you to you
Yeah,
for
just
that
kidding.
core memory that you helped me create. But it was because we played so hard. It was because we had to dig so deep. It was because we really had to, coalesce or, come together as a team. And
that was an intense game.
It was so intense. Yeah. It was so fun. It was so fun. I didn't even fucking care that we lost. It was just so fun. And to watch the girls just like go from like playing to like playing, like, you know what I mean? They just like get so into it, and it was so great. And I hope that for both of my girls, who they just love playing sports, and I love watching them play sports, and their intensity, like, on the court, to me is like the funnest thing to watch, because I think it really is like this like projection of who they're going to be like in the future.
Yeah. Also, it's like easy to have camaraderie when you're winning.
Yeah. Right.
And they had so much camaraderie when they weren't doing well. Like,
right.
they were like, it's okay. It's okay.
We got it. Let's go.
Like,
focus.
Yeah. Like building each other, hyping each other up and stuff. Like that was great.
And that's why I love sports, and I love girls in sports, and I love coaching in sports, because I just feel like it really gives them so much. It gives them so much learning, like life lessons live in sports, right?
Yeah.
Like, and like you said,
I mean, I don't know, but yes.
Not just when you're winning. Yeah. When you're losing, that really shows you who you are.
Yeah.
It really shows you who you are, and it really shows you who you are on the team. And to see, my daughter and, her friends just like rise to the occasion and really support each other, that is to me the most important lesson that they can learn. The sports honestly is kind of secondary. It's what they're learning while they're playing sports. It's so important to me.
Yeah.
So that's fun. So I'm actually really fucking excited. I'm so excited we start volleyball today. Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. It's today. For some reason I was like,
no,
tomorrow?
Today.
It's today.
Today, tomorrow, and then all week we practice. Our
when
first game is
start?
September. Tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I just got senior brain. Am I too young to use that?
Probably if you ask somebody who's 55, yes. What else?
Okay. So now we are going to do some of the assholes.
I like how last week I said, Ron, do you have an asshole? Oh.
I love the
Ron has handed us the assholes.
Bring us the assholes.
Okay, I'll read this one. Am I the asshole for telling my husband to piss off if he didn't like the way I talk? My 47 female... I don't think she meant... Okay. My 47-year-old husband... my 47 female...
She's 47.
Yeah. Well, the way that she wrote
Yes.
it, right? Okay, well, it's not me. She's
not.
47, her husband's 45.
Yes.
Doesn't like it when we go out to eat if I pronounce the name of the items on the menu correctly in the language they are written in. For example, if we are eating Chinese food, I'll give my order pronouncing my choice in the dialect it is written, typically Mandarin. The same goes for eating Mexican, Italian, or German food. He thinks I should talk redneck like him, even though I have some training in multiple languages. The last straw happened at a Mexican restaurant we frequent when I ordered my food as I normally would and then spoke in Spanish to my adopted brother who walked up at the time, and my husband blew his top as I told him to piss off and walked out. Now he's saying I'm trying to be high culture and belittle him, and I am the asshole for leaving him alone, stuck with the bill. So am I the asshole here or what? Okay,
No.
sorry, I didn't read that great, but the brother threw me off because like that had nothing to do with it. So I was like, wait, what? So what she's saying is she will pronounce it in the dialect or the accent in which it is written. I've talked about this a million times.
Yeah, this conversation only, like this opinion only comes from people who don't speak another language.
Sure.
The husband's opinion, I mean.
I know what you mean.
Because if you speak to anyone that speaks another language, they appreciate when people try to say it.
See, I don't have that opinion.
Really?
I find it so fucking pretentious when people do that. When they go too far, I find it so fucking pretentious.
Yeah, if you go to like a random like American
you don't
owned...
go to an Italian restaurant and you say, I would like to order the bolognese. Like to me, I'm like, ugh. No, don't do that. Or like, or like if you know what I'm saying, like there is and I've talked about this before, there is that balance between like doing it in a way that is respectful, but then crossing the line into like, you are a pretentious prick.
I think it's different. Maybe I should rephrase my opinion. I think it's different when you go to an immigrant owned, like people who, where English was maybe their second language.
But can that also cross the line into potentially seeming like mockery? Right?
Only if you're like using an accent.
Hello, can I take your order? Yes. I would like the enchiladas.
Why?
That is like, okay. Why did you say it like that when you would normally not say it like that? You would normally say enchiladas or
the only Italian food that I say the only Italian food that I say that you're supposed to is bruschetta.
But that's different. Even that, how you pronounce it, bruschetta, is different than bruschetta. It's different.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like, let me get a bruschetta.
But that's what I'm saying. I think the husband perceives it as. That's what I'm saying. So I used to watch Giada De Laurentiis on Food Network, and there was a time where she would do that. She'd be like,
but everything about her is so cringe.
Oh God, everything. But she would do that. She would do any word in Italian, she would heavily emphasize and say it in this Italian way. And they actually, I think, told her to stop doing that because it was distracting and it was also like it seemed really pretentious. And so when I see somebody doing that in restaurants, I'm like, I find it a little off-putting.
Yeah, but for instance, like when I go to order dim sum and I'm like, let me get the har gao, like I feel like an idiot.
How would you say it?
Like har I try to like.
But even when you do say it, you don't.
I don't know.
I was gonna say, or like whatever.
For instance, like shumai. You know what I mean? So like shui mai. You know, like just like
that was weirdly Italian. I was like, if you were an Italian ordering shumai,
or like
if you said chow mein, it's like xiao mian, right? But you would never say that in a Chinese restaurant, would you? That would be weird.
To Chinese people, maybe.
But if I were a Chinese person, I'd be like, why did you say it like that?
I mean, like, I'm trying to pronounce it so that you understand what
I would have understood chow mein.
Yeah, but some of those are like different because chow mein, like bolognese, like those have become Englishy a little at some point.
Right. So what he's saying is she doesn't do that. She does it in the other way, the way that a native speaker of that language would speak it. And so that's why he's like, you don't have to do that.
When I read this, I think of like when people are like, let me get the bulgogi, and versus people who are trying to say like bulgogi. You know what I mean?
But that, when they do that, and maybe it's just me, the way it just hits my ear is like, I don't like that because
I think there's like varying
you're
differences.
Not a Korean speaker. You know, maybe if it was somebody that actually spoke Korean, maybe I'd be like, okay, like I get what you're doing. I get what you're doing.
I think there's like you're right. There's like a difference between like people who say bruschetta or like bulgogi versus people being like, let me get, you know, it's like
it's
tough.
A tough one.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Tough.
It is a tough one. I have grappled with this because we were supposed to keep this at a minute. You can cut it up. But like when I hear somebody do that, especially if it's like in a Mexican restaurant, like when you ask for a tortilla, you say, can I have an extra tortilla? You don't say, can I have a tortilla? Right? You would never. You wouldn't. Or if you did, I'd be like,
don't.
Side eye.
I don't.
And I speak Spanish, not maybe fluently, but I've definitely taken Spanish for, 10 years. But even I don't do that because it feels weird to me to be speaking in English. If I was ordering completely in Spanish, then maybe. But if I were ordering in English and only said the word that was in Spanish in that way, that sounds to me like.
Yeah, but it's like, where is the line though?
Right.
Because what if someone's like,
great question.
They're like, it's spelled pico de gallo, and in English we don't make L's into a Y sound, and you're like, no, but it's pronounced pico de gallo.
That's different. A mispronunciation is different because but that's what I'm saying. There is that fine line. Pico de gallo is different than pico de gallo.
But there's like no distinction in this story. Because the husband's like, he thinks I should talk redneck.
Right.
Like, what does that mean?
This is incidental.
Yeah.
This story is incidental to me. This is just the catalyst, right? That's the catalyst. Because I've sat with this for so long. Because I'm like, I want to be respectful. But is there a line where if I go too far, that now starts to sound like mockery?
But it's like Hawaii, right?
Yeah, like when you say that, it makes me cringe a little bit.
Yeah, but like everyone who's from that island.
But they're from there.
No. But they say we want people to pronounce it correctly.
Okay. I don't know that as is a collective, if that is the case, if they really all say that, that's one thing. But
that's what I'm saying. Like, where is the line? Because that's like, technically we're mispronouncing it. It's not Hawaii. It's Hawaii.
Again, when you do that, I'm like, ugh. Sounds so. I don't know why.
But then, like, when I say Hawaii, then there's a bunch of people who are like, "That's not how you pronounce it." So it's like, I've
never had one person say that to me ever.
The line is.
But then, well, then, do you not call a country the name that is called in a different country?
What?
What I'm saying is like we call Korea, but Koreans don't call Korea.
Yeah. But the rest of the world does, which is
okay.
confusing.
The rest of the world says Hawaii.
Yeah, but it's like technically my last name is Che. Then.
Okay.
But in English it's Choi.
Do you have a preference?
Just by what I've had my whole life, I guess is Choi.
Right.
So like I don't know,
So that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Where is the line though?
That's that.
Because like the American way to say it is bruschetta.
Sure.
So is bruschetta not okay? Is that pretentious?
Bruschetta is okay, but then when you cross the line into bruschetta, then that does not see. He laughs because it hits your ear weird for me to say it that way. Same. And think about any Italian food.
But then there's also
a way that we say it and the way that it's supposed to be said.
This conversation also goes into non-English because there was
like Klingon.
No.
No.
Like for instance, like in Korean, there were people who were like criticizing non-Korean people for whenever they would speak Konglish, they were like, just say hamburger then. They're like, 한국, like, oh, 우리 가서 hamburger.
Yes.
And then they were like, no, that's weird because they were like, it takes you out of the phonetic.
But that's because they're speaking in the language.
Korean.
That's what I'm saying. So if I were ordering my
instead of, like-
Italian meal in Italian and then I stopped and said ravioli, right, it would sound weird. I think that's the disconnect. It's if you were ordering everything in English, no, go back. If you're ordering everything in Korean and then you say it in the English way that it,
like, are you
then
gonna
that
say
sounds
like,
weird.
오늘 점심 햄버거하고 프라이스 주세요. Or you're going to say like, 오늘 점심 hamburger and fries
Because
주세요.
that's what the converse sounds like to me. So that's what I'm saying.
Do you know what this conversation actually reminds me of? Is I just watched this video earlier today where they were stating that Konglish is different depending on if you're from Korea or from America.
I bet.
Because if Korean Konglish is apparently when they're trying to speak English. So their sentence structure is in English. Like,
right.
So subject, verb.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So, but then like for Korean Americans, we're trying to speak Korean. So our sentence structure is the way Korean is, which is like, verb, subject, whatever.
Sure.
So then it's like completely different. So like people don't understand that Konglish, depending on where you're from, is literally the opposite of each other.
Right. And that makes perfect sense. That makes sense to have that conversation.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Everybody has varying opinions on that, the original topic, because what?
Yeah, because there was that whole Discord like a couple months ago. There was that one. Was he from England? I don't think he was French, but he came to America and he's like, oh my God, it's not croissant.
Yes.
It's croissant.
Right.
You know what I mean? And everyone's like, oh.
Shut up.
Yeah, they're like, when you go to McDonald's in America, do you say McDonald or do you say McDonald?
Hamburger.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like that whole Discord.
Well, that's the thing is if I were to say croissant the way he wants people to say croissant, I feel so dumb.
Douchey. I would feel douchey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would never go into a place and order a croissant. I can't even when I say it, I'm like
French in high school, and like even then our like teacher would get so mad at me. He'd be like, pronounce it correctly. And I would purposely pronounce it with like a horrible English accent because like I didn't want to look pretentious.
Right.
So it is that.
Right.
But then there's like something else like as I grow up recently making content though, but with Asian languages though.
Yes.
For some reason, like I really want to try to pronounce it the way it's pronounced.
Which I get because Asian languages are treated so differently than.
You think that's what it is?
100%.
Yeah. So like
Italian, French, accents, even English and British, Canadian. I'm sorry, not Canadian. Like Australian accents. They're all romanticized, whereas Asian languages are mocked.
And maybe
so you're trying to maybe reclaim.
Maybe my opinion is also coming from because like I also lump in names.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I try to talk about names of victims, I like try to say it as close to their original pronunciation as much as I possibly can, without, being able to speak the language. But yeah, it's a tough one.
It's a tough one, which I totally understand. And I've actually put that out before. I'm like, I don't know what the right thing to do is, but I think
I am going to continue to say Hawaii though.
No, and nothing against Hawaii. When I say it, I feel like I'm trying too hard, which now reads disrespectful to me.
It took me a long time to feel like it felt natural.
Yeah, it does not feel natural to me. Yeah. And so when I do something that doesn't feel natural. We don't
normally have vowels in succession in our language.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why.
On to the next. Am I the asshole for speaking another language and giving my stepsister secondhand embarrassment? Oh, this is very on brand. Right. Here's a bit of a backstory. I, female 15, an Asian American. My mom is Caucasian while my dad is Chinese Filipino. I also have an older brother. My biological dad passed away when I was young and my mom remarried around 2022. Now, I have an amazing dad and an older sister. And an older brother. Okay. My mom works corporate for a cruise company and therefore, I don't mean to brag, but my family frequently goes on cruises. My sister recently graduated high school and came back home to San Francisco. She attended high school on the East Coast, and now my family is on this amazing cruise to the Caribbean to celebrate. Caribbean or Caribbean?
Depends. if I'm going to the Caribbean, it's the Caribbean. But if I'm going to Disneyland, it's Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know why. I don't know why. Have no fucking idea. You tell me. I'm going to the Caribbean. I would never say I'm going to the Caribbean. And I would never say I'm going on Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know why. It's just, it just exists in my brain for that reason in that way.
Just yesterday, my sister and I were in the pool deck and she needed to wash her hands. The ship we were on was really big and I wasn't too familiar with the layout. So in order to locate the bathroom, I asked the kind worker for directions. I tried to speak to her in English, but she didn't seem to understand initially. But then I noticed the Philippines, I said that weird.
Philippines.
The Philippines in her badge. On the cruise, the nationality of a staff member could be found on their badge. So I began talking to the lady in Filipino.
Tagalog?
Yeah, I was like, Filipino's not a language. My grandma was Filipino, so she taught me. The lady and I had a short and happy conversation before eventually asking where the nearest bathroom was. And I led my sister to go there. While we were walking, my sister just told me to just speak in English and said that Filipino is the worker's language. Plenty of the staff on board are Filipino and mentioned it was embarrassing for her because she didn't want to be associated with them. Oh, those were her exact words. I was shocked. I didn't know why she would be embarrassed and ashamed, but I still felt really bad. I didn't mean anything. I just wanted to speak Filipino due to my heritage, and the lady seemed to be really happy when I did so. Anyways, I told my sister I won't do it again, but was it really that rude to speak in another language in the West? What do you think?
I think that's the most bizarre take I've ever heard in my life. Number one, if I didn't speak Filipino, you would have never found the fucking bathroom. So you're welcome. Like, what are you talking about? No, your stepsister's a...
Yeah. Oh, well, I think that's what I was starting to
shithead.
say in the last one is that like when people don't speak a second language, I think it makes them feel
Insecure.
really insecure.
Totally.
So they like diminish like
Of course.
your accent or whatever, being able to speak. That's why people are always like, speak English, go back to your country because
Right.
like,
You
it's not
feel
really about us.
inferior,
It's
we
because you
get
feel
it.
inferior. Right.
We get it. You understand that you couldn't speak a second language.
Also, technically, I guess it's like Filipino language is kind of like when people are like speaking Chinese. It's like technically it probably is Tagalog, but I know Tagalog also isn't the only Filipino language. So maybe that's the reason why. Because like some people say I speak Chinese and they're like, well,
which
be
Mandarin
specific,
or
Mandarin,
Cantonese,
Cantonese, or like the 20 other dialects that exist. But they're like, it's okay to just say Chinese.
I think that's such a weird question. Like, am I the asshole for being able to speak another language? Like, no. And like, I don't know why that would embarrass your stepsister. Like, that's so bizarre to me. Like, classism. Yeah. Like, oh, only low class people speak other languages. But like, if it was French, would she have felt the same way? Absolutely not.
Oh my God. I had this conversation yesterday. I literally chose French, I think in middle school, because at the time I was like so focused on assimilating and I was like, oh, if I can master French, I was like, it is like the most uppity of the white languages to speak. And I'm going to be like, I did that. You know what I mean? And I was like, God damn it. That was the most useless thing I've ever done. I was like, I should have just fucking learned Spanish because I'd be fucking using it all over the place right now.
I think both of my sisters took French and I'm the only one who took Spanish and I'm the only one who's like retained, I think, any of that. And I'm like, you guys using a lot of French? You guys going around speaking
Où est la
French?
bibliothèque?
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
I even took AP French, which I only passed because I cheated like crazy. If you're young and listening to this, don't listen to this
cheat.
part. Yeah.
Don't cheat. That's terrible.
Am I the asshole for kicking my brother and his fiancé from my house after she made comments on my girlfriend's eating habits? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this answer is probably no. But
find out.
We're wrong.
They do take twists and turns, though, and this is a long one, so I don't want to even begin.
I, 30 male, have been with my girlfriend Kelly, who's 29 female, for 4 years and have known her for 10. Kelly is autistic, and one of her biggest problems is food. However, since getting together with me, she has opened up to a lot of new foods. Just to give an example, she wouldn't eat certain vegetables as they are, but wouldn't mind having them blended in or cut into small pieces or spirals. Now, my brother Kevin, 35 male, have recently proposed to his girlfriend of 3 years, Laura. He mentioned he has some news to announce, and will I be okay to host a family dinner at my place since I love cooking? I said it wouldn't be a problem. We have decided on a Japanese theme. Now, to the issue. For the main dish, I've made ramen, including the noodles and broth from scratch. Wow, that's impressive.
That's a lot.
broth usually takes like a whole day.
Even just making the noodles.
Oh my God, that's so messy.
Difficult.
It had to be chicken, as Kelly doesn't really eat beef or pork. And since my mother also doesn't eat pork, for Kelly's portion only, I have added extra veggies, zucchinis, carrots, sweet corn, and some others, since she is not fond of eggs. So, naturally, her ramen was served without an egg, while everyone else had a standard portion, which is enough to fill up a grown man. I also made sure there were some snacks on the table, like tempura, yakitori skewers, onigiri, etc.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I'm starving.
Yeah. I love how he just said that in passing, like tempura.
Oh yeah, I just made some tempura and some yakitori skewers.
Yeah.
It was not a big deal. It's like, that would take forever.
Yeah, tempura.
Jesus.
It's so time intensive. Well, within the first half an hour of her being there, Laura kept picking on Kelly and kept saying she can't say she likes ramen because her version is not authentic. None of us are even Asian or have any ties to Asia, if it even matters, which was upsetting to her and meant that Kelly started to eat significantly slower compared to the rest of the group. It happened when she is getting anxious. Then Laura has tried to grab some of Kelly's ramen to try and prove the point. So Kelly freaked out since she really doesn't like sharing food that's already on her plate. This resulted in an argument between Kelly and Laura, and Kelly crying due to her being overwhelmed. After this, I have asked my brother and Laura to leave. My parents were absolutely terrified over how Laura behaved towards Kelly and hinted that Laura should apologize. They ended up leaving, but later I have received a call from Kevin calling me an asshole for kicking them out and spoiling Laura's pregnancy reveal. He also wasn't happy about her mother scolding him over Laura's behavior. So am I the asshole?
Okay, wait. Hold on. Was this party there to announce the pregnancy? Like, did I miss that whole part? Recently proposed his girlfriend Laura. He mentioned he has some news to announce, and will I be okay to?
They didn't tell us what it was for.
I was like, when did she get pregnant? At dinner? What the fuck?
It seems like Kelly is being
Kelly's a fucking bitch.
Bridezilla.
Kelly is a fucking bitch, and she just not Kelly. Hold on.
Yeah, it is Kelly. No.
Laura. Go back.
You're right, yeah.
Okay, say it again.
Sounds like Laura's
a fucking bitch. Laura's a fucking bitch. You don't go. Was it at his house?
Yeah. No. Yeah. It was at the author's house.
You go to the guy's house and start making fun of his girlfriend for the way she eats. Leave her the fuck alone.
Demand that they host a party.
Yeah, and then you ate off her plate. What the fuck are you doing, Laura? Right. Get the fuck off me.
Laura clearly does not have any boundaries whatsoever, and she's already being a bridezilla the moment she got engaged.
Right. No, I'm sorry. No, Laura is the asshole, and so is Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin's totally.
You're mad because your parents were like, dude, Laura, what are you doing? Like, why do you care what somebody else is eating? Like, I care what my children eat because I want to make sure that they eat a very like nutrient heavy like diet.
But I don't
publicly shame them.
Yeah.
And like Laura's not Kelly's mom.
Not even like as a non-Asian, but as a non-Japanese person to decide, like, you think you get to decide what is an authentic ramen? That's weird because I've been to so many authentic ramen places in LA. Yeah. And like, they have vegetarian ramen there.
All the time. And it's really not up to you to decide what somebody should and shouldn't eat. And like,
not only that, but there's like so many different authentic types of ramen in general. There's like, you know what I mean? Yeah. There's like, I'm having a brain fart right now. There's so many. There's like sukamen, you know, there's like the dipping ramen. There's there's like good. Miso broth. There's like so many different kinds. Even the noodles, the shape vary.
Thick ones, the thin ones, the flat ones.
The thick ones.
We should have, I think we need to eat lunch. We're like ramen.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really don't like it when people like publicly shame other people for what they're eating. Like, why do you fucking care, Laura? Why do you care? Yeah. It's not going into your digestive tract. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, you just went there to you just wanted to hurt her feelings for no reason and like publicly embarrass her.
And that's the biggest one for me is that for both of us as people who have, you know, autism in our families, it's like the overstepping of boundaries and like not respecting boundaries and like purposely doing stuff that you know is going to overwhelm them.
Yeah.
Triggers me so hard.
Yeah.
I just want to bitch Laura out so bad.
I agree. She has no right to do that. Like you all know, my niece has autism and she has a very specific diet. She eats only certain things and if somebody were to shame her, I don't know that she would even like, it would even register to her, but to be honest, but it would register to me. It would register to my sister for goddamn sure. Like, don't worry about it. She's going to eat what she's going to eat. You have no say. Like, and also you didn't even make the food. If maybe Laura made the food and was like, oh, I just really want you to try it. I worked so hard. Like maybe even then there would be like some room to say something. You didn't even make the fucking food, Laura. Sit the fuck down and just shove it in your pie hole. Just be quiet.
Also to like, just dip into someone else's dish without even asking them, that who's like not your spouse or family. Let me try
and tell you how bad it is. Like, fuck you.
Like, that's so weird. And also knowing that they have autism. Like, that's what I mean. Like, the lack of boundaries.
Right.
Like, Laura is
This was an intentional bait to upset Kelly.
Horrible person. Yeah.
And I think, I would distance myself from that kind of person so quickly. I'm going to shame you for eating that bone for a month. His little paws are so cute when he's holding it. They're so tiny.
Yeah, I think he's like just recently learned to hold stuff with his paws.
It's so cute. Oh.
Yeah, I think Archie is 10 months actually. I thought it was maybe 11 because I feel like I've been saying 10 months for so long because I was too lazy to actually calculate how old he is.
Oh, I feel like I've known Archie forever.
Yeah, but he turns 1 relatively soon.
Are we going to have a party?
October 20th.
We're both Libras. Is that right?
I forget. I get dad brain.
When are the first and last days of Libra? I just want to make sure we're the same sign. That's all I care about.
Libra dates in astrology are typically...
Dang it. You're a Scorpio. Sorry.
I don't know what any of that stuff means.
I don't either. I just wanted to have something in common with Archie.
I just know what being a Leo means, and I know what being a double Leo means, and that's what I am.
It means lots of arguments is what that means. That's okay.
And also apparently also means that I have a really strong sense of smell, which is also true.
Oh, interesting. That's true. All right, bye. I have to go coach volleyball now.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us on another episode. And you can find us on our socials.
You can find me at Sujio1 on TikTok and Instagram.
I'm at Etch a Sketch with a J. The podcast is at What in the Shibal. That's Shibal. This little guy is at Archie and Colt on Instagram. You could also write us your Am I the Assholes? Ask us for any, possible advice,
questions, comments. If you have a scooter handy, see the callback.
Oh,
you got one of those little,
I was like, scooter
things for his leg.
Then write us at whatintheshibal, Shibal @gmail.com. Otherwise, thank you for joining us. If you are listening to the podcast, know that there is a video version available on YouTube. And if you are already watching us on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the Archie bell notification.
Ding.
Otherwise, if you would like to help us keep this podcast sustainable, think about joining our Patreon. I keep grabbing this thing and playing with it, and I'm pretty sure someone's going to point out, if I don't point it out myself, of the fallacy of it.
I noticed that earlier, and I was like, maybe I don't say anything and let the people speak.
It was my ADHD fidgetiness coming in, and I noticed it halfway through, but I just went like this, and I was like, stop doing that. So I'm going to point it out before any of you do. But otherwise...
That could go on your OF too.
Think about supporting our Patreon. We do have some exclusive stuff on there. Otherwise, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.
Okay, bye. People are going to think you have an OF now. He does not. Do you?
No.
Okay, he doesn't.